The Nigerian Armed Forces is one of the largest on the African continent. The Nigerian Army is the largest arm of the Nigerian Armed Forces. Today on People, Places, Things, we are going to take a look at the first 6 Nigerians commissioned into the Nigerian Army with a little historical background. The Nigerian regiment formed during the First and the Second World War had no Nigerian officers until the post-war period. However, with the growing agitation for independence from British rule, the Colonial Office recognized the need to establish a proper army in preparation for the eventual transfer of command and leadership to Nigerian officers. The colonial authorities selected a few outstanding non-commissioned officers with impressive educational backgrounds from the technical department of the Nigerian regiment, including ordnance, engineers, and signals. These individuals were sent to officers' cadet schools for officers' training. This development paved the way for the eventual indigenization of the Nigerian Army. Upon completing their training, they were granted short service commission, marking a significant milestone in the history of the Nigerian Army. The first 6 Nigerians commissioned into the Nigerian Army were: in first place, we have Lieutenant Lord Louis Victor Uboma. He made history in 1948 as the first Nigerian to receive a short service commission, becoming the inaugural commissioned officer of the Nigerian Army. 5 more non-commissioned officers followed in his footsteps. Born in Anambra State, he initially trained as a teacher before receiving an emergency commission into the Army on August 28, 1948. Becoming the first Nigerian-born infantry officer. However, it was reported that his nationalistic passion led to him being booted out by 1953, and he relinquished his command, returning to teaching at Zixton Grammar School, Ozubulu. Although he was the first Nigerian to be commissioned, the N1 tag was bestowed upon W.U. Bassy automatically when Nigeria gained independence in 1960. He passed away in 2002 but was able to prove his pioneering status at the Army headquarters. In second place, we have Lieutenant Wellington Umar Duke Bassy from Cross River State, now Akwa Ibom State. Lieutenant Wellington Duke Bassy joined the Royal Band Corps of the Royal West African Frontier Force in 1933. He was not just one of the first in Nigeria but also one of the first in West Africa. He held various positions in the colonial force and later completed an officer's training course in England, where he was commissioned an officer. He enlisted in the army in 1936 and made history on April 30, 1949 by becoming Nigeria's first indigenous officer to be commissioned as a lieutenant with the popular tag N1. Following Uboma's resignation, he assumed the role of the most senior officer in the Nigerian regiment. In the Nigerian Army, he held several command positions, including Commanding Officer of the Boys Company, now Nigerian Military School Zaria, Commanding Officer of the Federal Guard, and Commander of the Nigerian Army Depot, Zaria. He later rose to the rank of Brigadier and was affectionately known as Brigadier W.U. Bassy in recognition of his contributions. Camp W.U. Bassy and Wellington Bassy Way in Uyo are named in his honor. In third place, we have Lieutenant Aguiyi Ironsi from Umuoya, Abia State. In 1942, Aguiyi Ironsi joined the Nigerian regiment as a private with the 7th Battalion. He was promoted in 1946 to a company sergeant major. Also in 1946, Aguiyi Ironsi was sent on an officer's training course in Staff College, England, on 12th June 1949. After completion of his course in England, he received a short service commission as a second lieutenant with a subsequent promotion to a lieutenant effective from the same date. He was granted a regular commission on 16th May 1953. He held various positions in the Nigerian Army, including Commanding Officer, Nigerian Military School 1960 to 1961, Commander, Nigerian Army Depot 1961 to 1962, General Officer Commanding 1st Brigade 1962 to 1965, Head of State and Commander-in-Chief, Nigerian Armed Forces, January 15, 1966 to July 29, 1966. Aguiyi Ironsi played a significant role in Nigeria's military history, becoming the first Nigerian to attain the rank of Major General in 1965. He was also the first head of state and commander-in-chief of the Nigerian Armed Forces after the January 15, 1966 coup. Unfortunately, his tenure was cut short when he was assassinated on January 29, 1966. In recognition of his contribution, the Nigerian Army named the 1st Division headquarters in Kaduna after him, as well as the Aguiyi Ironsi cantonment in Abuja. In 4th place, we have Lieutenant Samuel Adesoji Ademu Legon. Like Aguiyi Ironsi, he was commissioned a lieutenant on 12th of June, 1949. He was one of the senior officers corps of the army, vying for the top army post of GOC in 1965 upon the retirement of the expatriate GOC. He was considered friendly with Ahmadu Bello, which made most of his junior officers frown at him, fraternizing with politicians. He served as GOC 1st Division in Kaduna State. He later became brigadier, and he was killed while in bed during the 1966 coup alongside his wife when they were shot by plotters of the coup. In 5th place, we have Lieutenant Ralph Adetunji Shudeinde from Ondo State. He was commissioned in 1950. As a colonel, he was the commandant of the Nigerian Military Training College. He was killed during the January 1966 coup by Nzogu. How he died precisely is still unclear. And finally, we have Brigadier Zakari Maimalari, who was born on the 17th of January 1930 into the royal family of Maimalari in the Maimalari village of the present-day Yobe State, Nigeria. At the tender age of 4, he began his educational career at Nguru Elementary School, also in present-day Yobe State. He completed his primary education at Borno Middle School, Maiduguri, in April 1941. From there, he proceeded to Barewa College, Zaria, where he obtained the Cambridge School Certificate in December 1947. It was at Barewa College, Zaria, that the interest of the young Maimalari was first kindled on the army as a career by one of the school principals. Maimalari and his childhood friend Lawan Umar joined the Royal West African Frontier Force in 1950. As part of the Nigerianization program to enlist more Nigerians into the senior ranks of the army, he underwent preparatory course at the Regular Officers Training School, Teshigana, and the Royal Military Academy, Sandhurst. Both Maimalari and Lawan attended Sandhurst, but Lawan was later discharged from the army. Maimalari was the first Nigerian regular combatant commissioned into the Officers Corps of the Nigerian Army. He was eventually commissioned second lieutenant on the 16th of February 1953. He was an instructor at the Nigerian Military Training College and later commander of the 2nd Battalion, Nigerian Army. The day prior to 15th January 1966 coup, Maimalari was celebrating his recent marriage. Unknowingly, some of the attendees were also rebel soldiers who would come back to haunt him. On the day of the coup, as soon as the rebel soldiers entered his compound, he escaped through the back of his house, at first hiding in a small quarter in his compound before exiting into the main road. On the road, he flagged a car hoping to go to Ikeja, but unfortunately, the car was a rebel car and he was captured and later killed. So there you have the first 6 officers commissioned into the Nigerian Army. You can comment below who you think the 7th was. Like, share, subscribe.